The human psyche is infinitely complex, which means new research comes out every day that helps illuminate why we are the way we are. And while some psychological studies provide us with fairly banal psychology facts, herein, we've rounded up the psychology facts that explain human nature. Fact number 1. If we have a plan B, our plan A is less likely to work. Every now and then, it hurts to be prepared. In a series of experiments from the University of Pennsylvania, researchers found that when volunteers thought about a backup plan before starting a task, they did worse than those who hadn't thought about a plan B. What's more, when they realized they had options, their motivation for succeeding the first time around dropped. The researchers stress that thinking ahead is a good idea, but you might be more successful if you keep those plans vague. Fact number 2. Fear can feel good, if we're not really in danger. Not everyone loves scary movies, but for the people who do, there are a few theories as to why, the main one coming down to hormones. When you're watching a scary movie or walking through a haunted house, you get all the adrenaline, endorphins, and dopamine from a fight or flight response, but no matter how scared you feel, your brain recognizes that you're not really in danger, so you get that natural high without the risk. Fact number 3. Food tastes better when someone else makes it. Ever wonder why that sandwich from the takeout place down the street tastes better than the ones you make at home, even if you use the same ingredients? One study published in the journal Science found that when you make yourself a meal, you're around it so long that it feels less exciting by the time you actually dig in, and that, subsequently, decreases your enjoyment. Fact number 4. When one rule seems too strict, we want to break more. Psychologists have studied a phenomenon called reactance. When people perceive certain freedoms being taken away, they not only break that rule, but they break even more than they otherwise would have in an effort to regain their freedom. This could be one of the best psychology facts to explain why a teenager who can't use his phone in class will chew gum while stealthily sending a text. Fact number 5. Our favorite subject is ourselves. Don't blame your self-absorbed brother for talking about himself, it's just the way his brain is wired. The reward centers of our brains light up more when we're talking about ourselves than when we're talking about other people, according to a Harvard study. Fact number 6. Our brains try to make boring speeches more interesting. University of Glasgow researchers found that in the same way that we hear voices in our heads when we read aloud, our brains also talk over boring speeches. If someone is speaking monotonously, we'll subconsciously make it more vivid in our heads. Fact number 7. We aren't as good at multitasking as we think we are. Research published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology shows that even when you think you're doing two things at once, what you're actually doing is switching quickly between the two tasks, you're still focusing on one at a time. No wonder it's so hard to listen to your partner while scrolling through Instagram. Fact number 8. We're convinced that the future is bright. Doesn't matter if you like where you're at right now or not, most of us have an optimism bias that convinces us the future will be better than the present, according to research in current biology. We assume we'll rise up in our careers, never get divorced, raise little angels of children, and live to a ripe old age. Those might not all be realistic for everyone, but there's no harm in dreaming. Fact number 9. We, unintentionally, believe what we want to believe. Humans are victim to something called confirmation bias, the tendency to interpret facts in a way that confirms what we already believe. So no matter how many facts you throw at your uncle trying to sway his political opinions, there's a good chance he isn't going to budge. It's one of the psychology facts you'll just have to accept that you can't change. Fact number 10. Social media is psychologically designed to be addictive. Told yourself you just quickly check your Facebook notifications, and 15 minutes later you're still scrolling? You're not alone. Part of that has to do with infinite scroll. When you can stay on the site without actually interacting and clicking, your brain doesn't get that stop cue. To discover more amazing facts, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.